I want to see if I can get this on film. This slow zooming camera. Come on. That's an albino squirrel. This is like the second time I've ever seen an albino squirrel. Nice. What's going on, YouTube? It's your boy, Sears Surgeon. Just started my van. About to get loaded up. Looking on some of my trailer. Starting off late today. Get my key. Ah, it's in the van. There's my other key. Yeah. Oh, dang. I forgot this stuff is right here. Lazy, lazy, lazy. Alright. I threw some stuff in here. Let me move some stuff around. People, back in these streets. Got the wind blowing through my hair. Nothing better. Had to move a couple things till tomorrow. I'm gonna had one job that was real far away. It's an easy job, like, but I mean, easy cut, but it's just far. And by me starting late, I don't want to, you know, drive way out there just to do it. And so I'm gonna go ahead and do some close stuff. I got one cut. It's a first time. I got two first time cuts today. One person was a referral. Another person I left a flyer for, so I'll get to meet them for. Well, I met one of them, but get to cut them for the first time. Then I got two regulars. I got an aeration, another regular, two more regulars, and then the new yard. So I'm gonna get going on those. The reason I'm starting late today because it rained all day yesterday. I was kind of happy about it because I'm like, yes, rain. You know, you love rain, but then it kept raining. And raining and raining until I'm like, man, it's gonna be mush out there. So that's the thing about cutting is what I found. I used to hate rain at first, you know, when it rained the day before. But what I found out is as long as the sun comes out early in the morning and dries it up, I say good by 12 o'clock. You know, you want to get out there and get doing some stuff that you can do that doesn't involve a lot of cutting, or maybe cut a yard that doesn't have too thick of grass where you can get away with it. But by 12, 1 o'clock, it'll dry up, especially the sun's out there beaming. And so that's what I was waiting on. And so we ended up going to the gym this morning and got a little behind, so now it's about 2 o'clock. I just left the gas station, so hopefully I won't be out till it's dark, but it looks that way. So let's get to it. Woo! Just finished my first job and it took me an hour and a half, bro. I was already late. So now I gotta cut a couple of other jobs off. Not only because of that, but because, of course, me being, I don't know if it's cocky or whatever, I just threw one trimmer on my trailer because I'm running late, blah, blah, blah. It would have took me a couple of seconds just to throw a second trimmer on there, but I said, hey, what could happen? 5 minutes into trimming, my freaking speed feed head blows out. Those of you who got speed feed heads and have steel speed feed head, you bump it and it has some kind of spring in it that you know, the centrifugal force shoots out more line. So something happened to the spring and the speed feed head, and so now it just spins freely, and when you bump it, the string doesn't come out. Like once I set it, I can open it up and I can set it, and then it'll stay at that point and it'll just go down, and once I need some more, I have to open it back up, reset it, and then it'll go back down. So, you know, the bad thing was it messed up on my first job, but like I said, always look at the good side. The good side was it was still usable. I had to manually, you know, pull the string out, but hey, I'm still able to finish the job. And another reason it took me so long is because the grass was mad thick. So it was mad thick. It's like all weeds. It's like weeds on top of weeds. And so I had to trim first, I had to cut, then I came back, had to trim some more. Plus this is my first time doing that house, so I wanted to make sure it's nice. Anywho, so now I think I'm gonna head back to the house just to get my other trimmer, or my other trimmer head. I'll probably just get the whole trimmer. And then I'm gonna do, I got 3 houses by the house, and I'll probably call it a day. I'm just gonna bump everything over till tomorrow, and I'm just gonna do those 3 houses because those 3 houses are appointment houses. Like I have some houses that are appointment houses and some houses that are like you know, monthly, and I kind of go whenever I can. But just to make this video interesting, I'll probably get some cutting footage, but I want to talk about this house. One of the houses I'm going to, I treat, right? I've been treating this yard for like 3 years or so, and it's one of my nicest yards. So across the street, there was this guy, and we had this whole issue, right? So he called me over there one November. It was like a year ago, November or something. And then he said he wanted me to give him a quote. He had these 2 big trees. If you don't go on my Instagram, I had trimmed these 2 trees, and I trimmed them into lollipop shapes, right? Nobody on the street had did that. Once I did it, everybody started doing it. Anyway, and that was my first time doing it too. But I trimmed them into lollipop shapes. Anyway, well, he asked me to give him a quote. This is in November. He asked me to give him a quote, and for those 2 trees, I told him those 2 trees would be $50 a piece. No, it was like, yeah, about $50 a piece. Then he wanted me to trim these bushes right here in front of his garage. I said, these little 4 or 5 bushes. He said, yeah. So I told him it would be like $140, and then, you know, it would be a haul away fee of like $30 or $20 or $30, something like that. So say it was $20. So it came up to like, no, probably 30. It came up to like 170, right? So winter time went by, he called me back. He wanted me to dethatch his yard. So I dethatched his yard, and when I was leaving, he was like, you know, when can you come back to hedge those bushes? I said, the ones we talked about? He said, yeah. Which were the 2 big ones and the 5 little small ones. I said, all right, well, I can come back, you know, Tuesday or whatever. So I came back, did the bushes. I did the 5 small bushes, and I did one of the big bushes in a lollipop shape, because I wanted him to see how it looked and see if he wanted me to do the other one like that. So he said, yeah. So mind you, my original price was $170, right? So, but when I quoted him the $170, he didn't want me to, when I came back the second time, he wanted me to cut up 5 feet off the ground. So that's how we ended up making a lollipop shape. And so I had to charge them extra for that because the haul away is more debris to haul away, and it's more work to cut all those branches off because I had to break out the chainsaw. So I texted him after I had cut the 1 wood tree and the 5 bushes. I said it's gonna be 200. So he texted me back. He said, what? He said it's gonna be you said 140. And so I explained to him. I said, well, because I couldn't really remember. I know how I priced. So I said, no, I might have said 140 for the actual work and $30 to haul away. He was like, I remember 140. So we kind of went back and forth. And so I said, well, minimum I can charge you is 170. You got to stick with your prices, because if you start haggling with people and coming down to their prices, then they think they're going to haggle with you for everything. So I told him, I said, well, I could do 170. So, because that was my original quote. I'm not going to go, you know, below my original quote. So he agreed. He paid me the 170. I came back, did the other bush, right? Now, when I was leaving, now mind you, I'm gonna try to find that picture. The bush was like big. It was blocking the window. You couldn't see out the window. When I cut it 5 feet off the ground, right, now I found 3 other bushes behind that big tree, you know? So I'm like, oh, he had bushes back there. I didn't even know that, and I don't think he knew that. But when he was giving me the check, he casually said, hey, when are you gonna be back to hedge these bushes? I was like, He said, yeah, these bushes. He said, why would I ask you to hedge these other bushes and not want you to hedge all of them? I said, I'm thinking in my mind, I don't know, that's what you asked me to do. You said these 2 trees and them 5 bushes over there. So I said, you know what? I'm gonna come back and hedge these bushes. There was 3 bushes there, and mind you, there's 3 other bushes over here. So I came back like another day and I hedged these bushes. Don't you want to know? This man gonna wait till after I hedged those bushes and said when I'm gonna come back and hedge the other 3. So I thought he was messing with me, bro. I'm like, at first I was about to tell him, nah, I gotta charge you for that. But my thing was, I was starting to grow in this neighborhood. I had like 4 other houses. It's a nice neighborhood, so I didn't want to create no bad rep or no bad blood with nobody. So I said it'll take me like 20 minutes. So I came and did a little 20-minute hedge up job on those bushes and did it. So long story short, at the end of the year, he wanted me to start, he wanted me to give him a quote for the next year. End of last year, he wanted me to give him a quote for next year on hedging those bushes, on treating his yard, because he saw I've been treating the yard across the street, making it look nice. And so I gave him a quote, and he said, oh, what if I pay you, you know, pay all of it in a lump sum? Well, I could get some off. I said, yeah, I'll give you 10% off. He said, cool. So fast forward to the next year. I come out and I do my prep cut, which is cutting it down to 3 inches. So when I come back, luckily I didn't have my materials, because I had to go get some materials. And I said, when I come back, it all be ready. I'll put down my stuff. He came out the house this day when I was doing the prep cut, didn't say nothing. And him and his wife got in the car. They drove off. They waved. Blah blah blah. So I text him to let him know, hey, you know, if you want to do your monthly payments like I did on my quote, you can do that. Or if you want to do the lump sum with the 10% off, this is the price, right? Text him that. You want to know, this man calls me and says, yeah, my wife signed up with True Green. I'm like, what? I was telling my wife, like, that's one of my pet peeves, because my thing is, I hate True Green. True Green will do a good job depending on what you pay for. See, what a lot of people don't realize, if you, like a lot of people do, like, somebody had told me they signed up with True Green for every 6 months. I'm like, 6 months? So True Green gonna come out to your house every 6 months. I'm like, what are they gonna do every 6 months? Like, in between that time, your yard's gonna be jacked up. But you know, most people sign up for this 30 to 45 day plan. And my thing is, like, between that 30 to 45 days, they can just come out and throw it, and it's probably gonna be somebody different. They're not gonna remember and or care about how your yard looks. If you're scheduled to do a certain fertilizer at that time of the year, they're gonna do it whether the yard needs that or not. You get what I'm saying? And the thing that makes me mad about that is the fact that I prepped it. I put down seed that fall. I put down fertilizer that fall. So when True Green comes out in the springtime and does their little half-ass job of treating the yard, and then it starts growing all nice and green with nice, they're gonna think, oh, see, True Green doing a good job. And see, and I'm like, man, if you were gonna do True Green, you shouldn't have asked me to do nothing. That's how I feel. Now I got another customer that did that exact same thing. He wants me to still cut his yard, and he wanted me to treat it at first. I put down seeds, fertilizer, and everything, and now he getting True Green. So, but that's the way it is. I understand that, because to them, I'm a lawn care company. I'm not an actual, you know, treatment company, and that's why I named my company Seth the Lawn Surgeon, because at some point in time, I want to be that, a full-time treatment company. I want to get to the point where, you know, I got, you know, guys going out to cut, and I don't even cut anymore. All I do is go do treatments. I got, you know, I want to get like a sprayer, stand-on sprayer, spreader, and I might still have my Astro Man, and I just go out and I just treat jars. You know what I mean? That's what I want to do. So yeah, so I'm gonna get back to his house, get my other trimmer, and I'm gonna go knock out a couple more yards. You know, sir?